Hello again, everybody. This is Tyler back at you with another video for Shapes.io. Um, just went ahead and fixed up my internet connection issues, so that's good at least. I'll be able to do that. I'll be able to actually more consistently upload videos and not have to worry too much about nothing working on me. The other day I just was trying to upload something on my main computer and the Wi-Fi adapter I had just completely crashed. Pretty much nothing at all that I could do, which was obviously very disappointing because I'm just trying to make content and do stuff, and not being able to like download anything or upload anything is a pretty big issue for doing something that's exclusively digital. Um, so luckily we got that sorted out, and I can go ahead and keep on doing more content for this. So I think the first thing I want to do is I want to boost the amount of purple circles that we're making, because I know I mentioned it more in the previous episode when I was talking about actually expanding this one out, so I might need more purple dye in the future, and if that's the case, then I want to go ahead and just have just pulling off from this purple dye instead of a separate one. So I think the best way to do it is we're going to go ahead and fix this area over here and get this looking a little bit nicer first. Obviously now that we've got this working, we can go ahead and do 1, 2, 3. And now we'll just go ahead and put you back onto that main one, and there we go. Now it's a little bit more condensed. And we'll go ahead and just pull from maybe here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy, paste, paste. There we go. Go ahead and get you there and there. And yeah, that's just so nice to be able to do so quickly. One of my oh, that's faced the wrong way. There we go. Cool. And good. Ooh, and now, if we want, we can actually go ahead and update this with our new extractor. And there we go. Now, that should always stay saturated, at least for the time being, since those work so fast. Now the main hope is just making sure that we actually keep our purple dye saturated. Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 of those working off of just the one. So obviously for the vast majority, it's only going to do the first few first, and then one kind of gets along. I'm surprised every now and again a bunch of them just go into the one, but I wonder how it determines priority. But, okay, so as you see, we boosted that by quite a bit. Which means this will go up faster, so I say that we go ahead and fix this up so it's not also using a bunch of pretty much just eyesores. Obviously it works just fine doing that, but the less we have to use the splitters to get everything together, the better. Speaking of, we can go ahead and update our blue over here. Go ahead and pull off onto that. And we're probably going to need to do the same here. Go ahead and pick you. One nice thing that I actually figured out was in the options, there's the ability to stop you from having to hold shift every time you want to place more than one building. So it'll just always do that until you cancel with right click. So I would recommend that if you want to just make it a little bit easier on yourself. So now that we got that going on, go ahead and pull down here. Pull you down here. One. We'll go ahead and copy on over what we've been doing. I think this might actually be a good situation to... Oh no, I am done. Never mind, we'll just continue it on like that. Go ahead and just pull that for you. So line up like that. There we go. And we just gotta place you here. Connect up this and our bottom row. Go ahead and just pull on this last one to over here. Once my brain figures out how to actually process everything. There we go. Now we just go ahead and pull you and reroute it back up. Then pull you here. And back that. You merge yet again. There we go. So now we've got a lot more working on here, and hopefully our blue will stay saturated well enough, as well as our red. Produce plenty of purple now, and there we go. Now we're almost getting full saturation for our circles over here. I mean, we might honestly be able to do without all of that. And here's where we can actually start seeing how it'll balance. Let's say we do that, and then since it's already starting to back up over here, we just go like that. And there we go. So we can just kind of more easily modify the setup of things based upon how many, or like based upon like this bottom row just about. But you'll see that every now and again we have a gap, but we're pretty much fully saturated in this belt, which will then mean that our total production should be pretty good, and it should stay pretty consistent. So there we go. So now we'll be doing 500 a sec, or 500 a minute, which is pretty good, I think. I don't really have any baselines to really base this off of, as I've not watched much other people do stuff with this game so far, but I think for where we're at right now, that's pretty good, because obviously you can only saturate a belt so much before anything else you would try and put on there just wouldn't even be worth it. Okay. Now the real question is, where do we want to move on from here? Because we might want to upgrade our Cyan production over here, which I think is a good idea. And like I said, the nice part about all of this is that we've got we've just got some stuff to do while we're waiting for our next upgrades to reach with the shape production we've already started. So we'll go ahead and get you like that. And like I said, a lot of this game really just kind of comes down to getting rid of eyesores as much as possible. So the better it's set up, the better it'll look, and the more space we have to work with. Obviously, like in a game where you've got infinite space to work with, you shouldn't have to worry too much about space. However, trying to build something as cleanly as possible is never going to be a bad idea. So we need that, and we'll just place it there, and there we go. We've already got everything moving on already. Wow, the copy and paste tool is so nice. I'm never going to be able to go back to playing without it. I'm just going to have to create new save files that are like, ah yeah, I have everything unlocked. Because then the challenge becomes figuring out how many of each shape you can make and how far you can go. And just, like I said in previous episodes, just push things. And now we should have plenty of blue. Like I said, and it's a little bit more condensed into just that area as opposed to splitter and splitter and splitter, and there you go. So you can see that's working out pretty well. And just because we stopped the production of that, then obviously this took a little bit of a hit, but that's okay. Because probably one of the next things we want to bolster, because we're only making about 200 a minute, which is very low for here where we need 50,000. So, actually, that's already gone up a little bit. Ooh, 432. Nice, so just making the Cyan production better made this production better. Okay, yeah, I am definitely not upset about that. Obviously we've got plenty of blue half squares coming in. Got that going up. Still don't think I'm really worried about our circles just because we're so far ahead. We've created a pretty good whatever you would consider the opposite of debt, like just surplus. Yeah, so we've got a pretty good surplus. Once I figure out how to say it, surplus of our 4 basic ones. We've got plenty of our corners and half squares and our bottoms. This is probably the only one that's really going to get us because we're going to catch up on that quicker. But this is going up more, this is going up more. So our 3rd tier products are looking okay almost. How many of... That's only at 240. Apply this back. So I think what we probably need is more of this right here. And go that, copy, paste. So that should make a lot more of the squares as long as everything stays saturated, which it should, I think. Go ahead and just bring two on over here, like, those two more fits just right. Go, there we go, and there we go. Ooh, new upgrade available. Nice, so that'll all start going faster now. Ooh. Ah, that's gonna be fun to make. Because we're gonna have to... Yeah, we're gonna have to do a lot of work for that one. But, okay, well. And, alright. Now we've already caught up on full saturation for that. And we're making a few more of those now. 390. And I love being able to look at the graphs because you see like it's been up and down and now it's just quite a big spike that's leveled off, but nice. Okay, so that's even with it all getting pushed onto the same belt as another thing, but oh, and we're running out of purple already. But I guess that we're still not catching up over here, so that's okay for right now. Because obviously, like, in an ideal world, you want to have everything be equal as opposed to oversaturated in one end to the other. However, it's better to have things saturated on your inputs than your outputs, because if your outputs, or if you're not able to put enough out to saturate, then you run into issues where you could boost more without even changing the current setup. But I think for right now, that's actually going to work just fine. Cool. So go and change this. 360. I would like it to be more, but that's okay like that right now. So we got all of those. That's picked up. That's picked up. So let's go ahead and look at our next one. I think I want our belts to be faster, so I'm going to do the sun look and shape. So let's see if we can do something about that. I'm going to start over here, and I need to combine yellow, or sorry, green and red to make yellow. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pull from here. And obviously a little overkill, but go ahead and do that. Just double check. Yeah, so that should be completed before we actually get there. And I'm actually going to pin it. So we're going to take our red, and we're going to take our green. Completely mess up some of those inputs. Sure, those all face in. I can face that. And there we go. Now we'll go ahead and do this similar song and dance. Build up our yellow dye. Like that, and then copy and paste this whole thing. Just stick with 5 for right now. Go ahead and route this down here. And there we go. We're already making a whole bunch. Now, I want to pull from circles, so We'll go ahead and grab this one right here. And we actually placed everything properly that time. We'll go ahead and just route back on over here. And we need to make sure that this is going to be on top, so that way we can follow the same production that we've been doing for all of our colored shapes. Sure that that teleports there. This goes. Oh no, hold on. That needs to go into there, and then that pulls up like, and we need and then we'll just go ahead along. Don't know why that one didn't connect, but that's okay. And now that those can come over here, the next thing we need to do is we need a. We'll probably split off this source of red so we can make the star that goes behind. Yep. So yellow circles, red star. Go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and clean this one. That's obviously been working for us just fine. There you go. That's been working just fine. So, and let's see. And that's one thing I really love about these chain extractors is I can just go like this. And because of the way that I have it routed, that'll work just fine. All we need to do is just pull it onto over here. Because we're going to need to create ourselves some red versions of these. And luckily, because of the way that everything is over here, I should have no issue with taking some of these, repurposing it for using the red dye to make the red stars. With that, and you, and we'll go ahead and just copy this entire thing. All I need now is just bring on over these stars to our top part. Oh no, did I copy it the wrong way? Oh. I need to connect it to here, not the top. Oh. That'll get started through there. We'll go ahead and pull on our red dye. You set up like that. And there we go. As you see, even within just such a short time span, I've already set up production for a completely new shape because we can copy it. And speaking of, this might actually be one of our best to farm, because for granted it's not costing much too much right now. So as long as we just keep working on stuff and just chugging along, this should build up just fine at its current rate. Because it's doing about 230 a minute. But obviously with games like this, you can never really go wrong with just trying to produce more and more of each thing you might need. We'll go ahead and just have your output here, your output there. And then we'll do what we've been doing, and we'll go ahead and continue on down over here. Since the red star is at the base, we're going to need that to be the product that we put it on, so we want the red stars to be lower, I believe. Yes, we want it to be lower because we're going to be putting the yellow shapes on top of the red shapes. So go ahead and bring both of these on down. We'll put you like that. Get you to come over here. And just that way we have ample room. Bring you and you. And this all over again. And just haphazardly build over things that we might need in the future, but don't need to worry about right now. That's a problem for future me. We'll take you, and there we go. Carry you onto the other side. Get that like that. Make sure everything can carry on this way. Here, and now all we gotta do is copy and paste yet again. And that's one of the nice parts about the way I've been building these things, is obviously the smaller things you have to copy and paste, the better. So a new variant of the tunnel, it has a bigger range, and you can mix and match those tunnels. What do you mean mixing? I wonder if mix and match as in... Because if I build you there, I can go out 8 tiles, or... Okay, so if I wanted to, I could have tunnels that would not actually go into one another that way. So like one of the issues you might run into, you're like, oh, well, I want to carry a product through onto the other side of the tunnel. You could do that now. Okay, that's cool. So, and oh look, actually our next objective are these stars, so definitely not going to complain. We'll actually use one of our new ones, even though obviously has a range, but ooh, if I wanted, I could reorganize all the outputs that are like this to be the white colors, that way we know that those are output lines. But that might be something for mainly just cleaning up later. And ooh, storage buffer. I have no clue what that is, but I look forward to finding out as we create more shapes together. Gonna ahead and take a little bit of time to bring this back on out. Yeah, because that's over there, so... One day I would like to find a better system for how to actually bring everything back to the main hub, but for now, this will just have to do. There you go. And we'll go ahead and get a bunch of those built up right at the start. And as normal, if I wanted to just create more, I could just go ahead and just doing this. Ooh, and I almost have everything lined up where I could just copy and paste like the whole thing, but we'll do those two at the same time. Like that, and then we'll do that all together. That all together. There we go. There we go. Whew. And let's go ahead and just paste this. Why not? And we have done it. Oh, I guess that's probably why there was a gap there. But that's okay. And now that everything should hopefully just back up. But there we go. We'll have hopefully this one done in no time. As you see, just from such a short amount of time, I already built this one up, and we're gonna be rocking right to the same spot that we were at the first place. Yeah, that's a nice feeling to just be able to copy and paste like larger sections. So now if I want to, I could probably go back and just make everything slightly better, but we will save that for a future episode. So I'm going to go ahead and save and call it quits on there so far. One thing before I end it off, I do really enjoy that it shows how many belts we've used, how many buildings we've used, and the total play time. Just because, obviously, if you don't feel like you're getting enough progression with all the stuff that you're doing, you get a good opportunity to see just how far you come in every session. So, I just wanted to say again, thank you very much for watching. My name is Tyler, and I look forward to making more content for you. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a like. If you like my content and like just listening to me talk about games, which I still don't know yet, but feel free to subscribe, and that'll let you know when I decide to put out more content. And I will see you in the next episode.